Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you my Pyramid Plunder guide. This one was requested a couple of days ago, but I was already planning it and already actually had some recorded clips of it. So, yeah, you called me on that one, didn't you? Now, Pyramid Plunder is one of the best thieving XP gainers in the game. It is pretty much one of the best for all the way from level 21 to 99. Now, there is other techniques which can be better, however, this is a lot more bearable than the other techniques. There is monkey knife fighters, which you've got to knock out, pickpocket, knock out, pickpocket, and it is an endless process of horrid clicking. It is seriously depressing, and how people can keep it up for hours on end, I really don't know. But this is a lot more bearable and more fun, and you can actually get some decent money out of it. So, first off, I'm going to show you the levels for each room. So, as you can see, I've got the rooms down the left, levels down the middle, and once you can access like room 1, it tells you on the right what rooms you need to do for when you're that level. So obviously when you reach 91, you loot room 7 and room 8. Now the way you do it is you get to that second last room and you loot as much as you can to a certain time on the 5-minute countdown, which I'll show you later in the video, exactly when you want to move to the next room. So obviously at the lower ones you should make it in plenty of time, and you'll be leaving the room after looting both the full room, the full second last room and the full last room of your level. So obviously 91, it's a lot more challenging to complete room 7 and room 8 and loot everything. So most of the time you'll only loot about half of room 7 ish, and you'll be going to the next room unless you've got help with you to speed it up. So if you just want to pause the video if you need to read any more of this table. And now I'm going to show you some gear setups and some of the basics of Pyramid Plunder. Right guys, so I'm going to show you the gear that you would prefer to use anyway. So now obviously I understand a lot of you won't be able to get this, but this is pretty much the optimum gear. You can pretty much pick and choose what you want to wear for your helm and other things. It's just cosmetics, what you want to wear when you're skilling, you know. But the things you need, pretty much, you want an RD cape, so hence why I've got completionist cape, because it has RD cape in it. As I've said in videos before, I just like to use the completionist cape, you know, I'm not trying to show off or anything. And then you want a ring of wealth, because this really helps with what you loot from the urns. It also increases your chance of getting one of these babies, the Pharaoh's Scepter. Now you really want a Pharaoh's Scepter because you'd need them to train for fast dexterity. Without them it's very tedious. Now other things you want, just some defense generally, because unless you're gonna pray melee against everything, but then you lose a lot of prayer, and as you can see you don't want to be taking prayer because it wastes invent spaces and you can't stay there for a long enough time. Well, obviously you can, but not as long. I use Agile Top. While you don't run out of run there anymore, just I've always used it, and I don't know why, but it's a useful thing. I'll check its stats. It has got some defense, so it's not a total waste. And also, if you are running around, it's a very useful thing to have. But obviously, if you haven't, you probably won't be able to get Agile, because it is a high requirement for agility, 90 agility, which is pretty high and hard to get. However, this is just a general idea of stuff to wear. However, the RD cape and this anti-poison totem are the most important. Now, the anti-poison totem costs 44k, I think it's about 44k dungeoneering tokens, and this will stop you getting poisoned while you're using it. So hence, you don't have to bring an anti-poison in the invent, and this makes Pyramid Plunder a lot easier. It is a big, massive help, and I really recommend you go and get it. It's only 440k dungeoneering XP, and you probably need that 99 anyway if you haven't got an anti-poison totem already. Or 120 if you want to go wild. Now, I just use Barrow's gloves for some defense because I don't want my Goliath gloves to run out, you know, and or your best Colorancer gloves that you can get. And then I'm just using Steadfast because it's pretty much pick and choose whatever you want to use, right? Simple as that. As for invent, you want to have 2 Pharaoh's Scepters. Now I understand some people won't be able to afford these. They're about $1 each. However, you want to have 2. It really help having 2, because 3 tellies runs out in like 15 minutes, and you have to recharge it more often. It is a big nuisance. So recharging them less often is better if you have a second one, and in case you forget to recharge and things, you have another one to tally with. So it's very useful to have 2. Now, if you can't afford them, hopefully you'll get some while you're doing Pyramid Plunder, because to 99 I think I got about 12 to 15, and I do loot every room. Now, what you want to do for healing is use bunyip pouches. These are 68 summoning, and I really if you haven't got this and you want to do Permanent Plunder, I'd possibly suggest going to train summoning first. Unless you're just a skillet, then you're going to have to be taking some food, purple sweets or something like that. Something that you can heal from the little damage you take from the little spinny scarab swarm things. No, what am I on about spinny scarab swarms? You wouldn't be releasing them as a noob. Yeah, I mean the snakes, that's what I mean. God. Right, and then you want to take 2 super restores. I'm going to take flasks, because normally you'd have to take more. But I'm going to save a couple of invent spaces by taking flasks, which don't cost much more, especially when you're only using 2. And also, if you have an RD cape, I think you have to have 4 for this. It's got a summoning restore, which will do it once a day from 0 to 99. So maximum summoning restore. And then the rest of the invent, I've just got a telly, so I can get away from Permanent Plunder when I want to leave quickly. And then I've filled my invent with gold seals. Now, if you're below 81 thieving, I recommend filling it with stone seals. And if you're 81 plus, then gold seals, because the higher level you are, the better loot you get. And if you're a higher level, you're going to be getting more gold stuff, which is best to use to recharge. So, to get there, you click teleport on your Ferroceptor. Before I get this wrong, it's top 1, I hope. If I'm wrong, you get to laugh at me. And here you go, Guardian Mummy. This is where you start the minigame. Now, you right click, click start minigame, and then you'll go straight in. So, let's go straight in. And I'm just going to show you a few basics of the room. Now, there is 8 rooms, as you can see at the top. This is the timer coming down here. It lasts approximately 5 minutes. Now, each room has a spear trap at the start, and you want to be careful, because if you can easily misclick on this and walk straight over it and it'll hit you for damage, wasting a lot of time as well, because you'll get pushed back. Because watch, if I stand in it, take damage and get pushed back. However, obviously you'll push that side if you're on that side. Now, in every room, there's a gold chest in the center. Now, I loot this, because every time you loot this, you get a chance at getting a Ferroceptor. However, this little open gold chest, it can release a scarab swarm, which will hit you repetitively, but shouldn't be too hard if you're a high combat level. And it will poison you if you haven't got your anti-poison totem. However, you also won't get any XP for the gold chest. Other things in the room are sarcophagus. Now, this only opens with strength XP, but has a chance at the Ferroceptor and also gives the regular loot. And then you've got other urns which give you the general XP. Now, to loot an urn, what I recommend is, if you right click it, it has a check for snakes option. Now, if you check for snakes, as I just did there, the snake pops out, and then when you search it, you've got a less chance of getting, of failing. Now, if obviously I'm not going to fail in the lowest level room, but if you just search straight off, you get a bigger chance of failing. But as you see, obviously, I got more XP. But however, searching and checking first and then searching adds up to the same XP. So in total, you're not losing any XP. And if you watch if you click the next urn with check for snakes, you see it wastes no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. It just wastes a slight amount. So I really recommend that if you're not too bothered about clicking a few extra times. Now, what I do when clicking on the next urn as well, so see I'm doing this one. Obviously the search is a long animation. What I do is just spam click the floor to the next one, and then when I walk there, click check, and then search, and then spam click the floor to the next one. Because if you click it at the wrong time, as you've seen, it lagged a bit there actually, I thought I'd failed. But if you click too early, sometimes it won't walk, and that's why I spam clicks to make sure I get it as soon as I finish searching, because you're on a time limit, and it really affects your XP, especially when you get into the higher rooms, because when you're in the higher rooms, it takes a while just to get there. So the next thing I want to say is how the rooms work. There's 4 doors in every room, each with a pick lock option, and you can fail each one. However, one of these doors goes to the next room, only one, so it's a 1 in 4 chance for getting it first time, obviously. However, you can also have a friend with you, and the doors stay the same for both people. So if, say I'm with someone and they're checking, they run west and check this door, I run east and check this door, then they check that one and I'd check this one. However, obviously if you see them go through a door, you'd run straight through it. So say they run through this one, I'm going to run straight to this door, because it'll save time. This is where a lot of your time goes, down to luck as well. Obviously that was actually wrong, but you know. Obviously it's a lot of luck how much time you get in your final 3 rooms. So yeah, XP rate per run does vary. However, if you're with someone, it really reduces the amount of luck, because the maximum amount of doors you're going to have to press per room is 3 instead of 4. Now obviously you could take 3 or even 4 people to speed it up even higher. So, however, you obviously got get a group of friends and generally have a good way to communicate like through Skype or something like that. And another thing I want to mention, which also in the last room, which I'm going to get to the last room and then I'm going to unpause the video. Right, so I'm in the final room now, just got a roommate. So as usual, just run through the spear trap. Now the thing I want to mention is this new sarcophagus over here, the engraved sarcophagus. Now you may have seen this on RuneShark's Road to Completion Escape with Simon, mentioning the engraved sarcophagus. This drops a special scepter called the Scepter of the Gods. Now this Scepter of the Gods, you have to wield it, and when you're wielding it, it'll spawn 2 extra urns, one here and one here. Now they all give the same XP as these urns in here, so that's why it's really helpful. It has also 10 tellies instead of 10. 10 tellies instead of 3. Am I blind or what? God. So it also helps with having a recharge less. However, you obviously have to keep your enhanced Excalibur in your invent. So people generally frown upon you if you open these sarcophagus, because it's likely to open a mummy, as I'll probably get one right now. Let's see. Oh, here's a mummy. Now, these mummies will obviously attack the person that opened it. However, if I leave after I finish, this mummy will turn aggressive on other players, so people don't respect you for that. However, people don't mind if you open the engraved sarcophagus, because the engraved sarcophagus is a special one that people want the Scepter of the Gods from. Also, it gives runecrafting XP, 275 runecrafting XP, instead of strength, which is something people more desire. Now, I didn't get anything there. But obviously, if you finish before the time runs out, you click on this door, press the 1 button really fast and you'll leave. Now, before I teleport back in and show you some other clips of me playing Pyramid Plunder, right, what you want to do, if you're not using Scepter of the Gods, or a Pharaoh Scepter, there's 4 doors, 1 north, 1 east, 1 west, 1 south, and the mummy is in one of them. Now, if I click this one, there's a 1 in 4 chance I'm going to get him. And I haven't got them. So what you want to do is, obviously you want to keep running around until you find them. So now I'm going to show you some clips of me doing Pyramid Plunder and explain in more detail. Right, so here's a clip of me doing a couple of solo runs. So it's pretty much really simple. All you got to do, I loot the chest in every room because it has a good chance at a scepter, especially with the Ring of Wealth, and getting a scepter is a good 1 mil profit. So really, the main thing you want to do is run through, as soon as you go in, loot the chest, and then go through the doors in pretty much the same fashion I do. It's as simple as that. One of the doors will be right. But, however, at some points the doors, you'll go through them all, and none of them will be right. That means somebody else has started the game, which means that the doors reset every time someone starts. So once you get your second last room, you want to go around looting them all. And looting them until you see the time bar at the top right, until it's about halfway between your prayer and your HP, and then you want to start opening the doors. You say, I get screwed every time on that room. Always get it last. It's ridiculous. And obviously, I know that sort of method only works if you're on resizable. However, I'm sure you can see exactly where it is and compare it to when you're on fixed screen. So, and then you repeat, and then in the last room, you want to try and loot everything in the time. Like in this one I struggle, I miss out a couple because of the fact I got screwed on the doors in the last room. So here's another run of me doing it, so you can follow me what I'm doing better here. I'm just running through all the doors, one by one, constantly the 4th door for me. That's just unlucky, which is why in a minute I show you doing a duo, which will help you find the doors, because they can open a door that you haven't opened yet, and they can possibly find the right path. So right to hit room 7 again. So go through the spears, and as you see, I'm doing that search, then the search. Oh my god, I fail. I'm doing the check then search, because you fail a lot less, and it does save a lot of time, even though it takes slightly longer per. So hit about halfway through, and again 4th door, screwed. It's like it just made me want to freaking tally back to the Tazar Plaza, you know. So back in the last room, just repeating again. It's just check then search, and then I do the engraved sarcophagus before I get to the end of the room of the urns, because of the fact it's on the way. I'll save a couple of seconds. However, if you are a low level, you probably don't want to loot it until last if you don't want to get attacked by the mummy. So now I'm doing a duo. As you've seen, she went straight in the other door, so I knew exactly where to go, and she did it again straight away. So as you can see, I'm just following her, But now I found the right path. So it's kind of a game of cat and mouse. If one person gets ahead, the other person can catch up because they see the door ahead of themselves, and see which ones are possibly right. So it lowers down their options. See, I've got quite a way ahead here, but she'll catch up now because I failed a couple of times. So she knows straight away which door to come in. So yet again, I get to this room, and you see how much time I've got compared. The fact that you have less fails on the doors just makes it so superior. And the fact you can pretty much loot all of this room every go when duoing, it's so nice. You'll get an extra ton of XP. I mean, if you're soloing and you can do 91, it's about 220k an hour. I'm not sure at lower levels, but it's pretty much, it goes up obviously as you get higher. So it is still the best XP in most levels really. And then if you're duoing, you can get like 250 to 260k an hour, so it's a big boost. Quite a lot, and it makes it a lot more comparable to Monkey Knife Fighters. So, as you say, I've almost finished. In this run, I actually finished, I think I finished in time, and I actually get to leave through the door because I finished that quickly. And I looted the full second last room. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, the fact that I'm leaving before the time runs out means I'm doing a run in under 5 minutes and starting the next one, which means I could possibly get more than 12 runs in per hour as well. So it's all great doing duo. So as show you here, I'm doing another duo with another person now because the other person had to go and I wanted to get a few more clips, you know. So I don't know what happened with the video there, by the way. I'm not too sure. And we're just messing around with quick chat while we're doing it because there's in a quick chat world. So it's as simple as that, just following each other, and that's how it works really. If you could also, obviously, as I said earlier, you could do it with 3 or 4 people and it'd make it even faster, you know. But 2 is reasonable because you can find a person easily to do it with you, like one friend, and it's possibly a lot harder to organise with 4 people because you've got to all know exactly which doors you're going to, because 2 people don't want to run to the same door because that can screw you. Now that one I didn't do too good, and I didn't manage to loot the full room, but straight into the last room, and I'm going to run around and loot them all again. Easy as pie. But that trick of searching then checking and searching, it really saves a lot of time. Because I noticed when you're doing Thieving with Plunder, it's very tedious if you constantly fail the same urn, which you can do very easily, multiple times in a row. You see that lag there, holy shit. But also, just saying, if you're doing Thieving with Plunder and you want some money, you can get very lucky indeed. I mean, the Ring of Wealth helps, but watch what happens here. Watch what happens. Click the search to go into chest. Boom! Pharaoh's Scepter in the inventory. Free 1 mil while I was recording. Not complaining about that, really. Considering I went for only a few trips. So all that's left for me to say is, I hope you've enjoyed the guide and I hope you found it really helpful. And I hope this helps you on your way to 99 thieving. Good luck on that. See you later, guys.